Welcome in, welcome in. It's Tuesday Wellness Chat Talk. Today we will be discussing good old trusty pancreas. I'm good. How are you today? How are you? Can we start? Can we get some taps going? Get the algorithm going. Hey, Sparkling Mona Lisa. So today is Tuesday. We're gonna do just a quick Tuesday chat. We're gonna be in and out real quick. As y'all know, if you be over on Petty side, we got court, so we'll be in and out very quick. Today we will be talking about the pancreas, how it functions, what it does, what it's supposed to do, how you're supposed to keep it healthy, all those good questions, all those good things. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Give it a couple minutes, get a few people in here. Let's get the taps going. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. Who have a gift go? So let me get some water. I'll be back. Tap. Please feel free. Share it out. Share it out to anybody that has pancreas issues that would like to know a little bit more about it. I am not clinically diagnosing anybody. We are just discussing how to keep it healthy, ways to keep it healthy. Nothing, nothing clinical. As always, you must see your doctor if you're going to do anything. But I do want to just talk about what you can do on your own. Hey, Jada. Hey y'all, I'll be right back. I gotta get some water. So just keep tap. Thank y'all. Hey, Aaron. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you all for 1K. Let's get started. So we're talking about the pancreas tonight. What is the pancreas? Of course, it's an organ that's in our body. The picture that's behind me, this is what your pancreas looks like. The main thing that you need to know is that the pancreas hits two areas of your body. The pancreas is located, of course, in your stomach. Thank you for joining the team. Thank you for the gifts. It's located in your abdomen. It's going to be behind your stomach. A part of your pancreas is going to touch or dip into your small intestines. And then the other part, the long part on this end, is going to tap and touch your spleen. It's going to feed into your pancreas, but it does not do anything with your spleen. Two functions. It is an exocrine organ. So exocrine is just basically meaning that it produces enzymes. The enzymes that it produces helps with digestion. We'll get back to that. It's an endocrine gland. An endocrine organ that it promotes the production of hormones that will help to lower your blood glucose or your blood sugars. Thank you, Ms. Kim, for sharing out. Thank you, Aaron, for sharing out. Thank y'all for tapping. So exocrine. So what does exocrine actually mean? So exocrine is just an exocrine production, or when a organ has an exocrine properties or is able to do exocrine type things, means that it's going to send something into something else. So the exocrine component of the pancreas is that it's going to send enzymes into the liver to help break down certain things. So it's going to send out amylase, and so amylase is an enzyme that helps to break down carbohydrates. So when we eat something, amylase is going to be secreted from the pancreas into the bloodstream to the liver so that it can break down, it can start the breakdown of carbohydrates. It's also going to send out lipase that is going to work on your fats. So the pancreas is going to deliver that into your small intestines to help break down any fats that you've consumed in your meal. And then you're gonna get protease, so that is gonna break down the proteins. Names kind of sound very familiar. Anytime you hear the ending ASE, usually that is an enzyme and it's helping to break down something else. It's usually secreted from somewhere else and help to break down something from somewhere else. So these are 3 of the foods that we eat, enzymes that are secreted from the pancreas into the small intestines when we eat our food to help break down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. It also has endocrine properties. So endocrine means that it's releasing something into our bloodstream. So what it's going to release is when we eat something. So it's going to release insulin to help bring our blood sugars down, or glucagon to help force the sugars that we eat into the cell. We need this. This is a function. Hey Aquarius, this is a function that goes on nonstop. Every time, this water that I'm drinking, there is properties in there that may make my body start to secrete things to help me break it down. Anything that we eat, everything that we eat, no matter what, I don't care if they told you it doesn't have any sugar in it, your body is going to, thank you Ms. Kim, is going to produce some form of a sugar or a carbohydrate that your body is going to need in order to be pushed into the cell. You don't want sugar floating around in your blood. That's when we have diabetes. So the goal is, I eat my food, the pancreas sends some insulin, the insulin breaks down the sugar, glucagon is then going to help push it into the cell so that it can work for us. The goal of carbohydrates is to be turned into energy for us to use. It's your fast energy. Everything is turned into energy. We all energy. So everything, the goal is, but carbohydrates initially first is your first boost of sugar or energy that you need in order. So you don't want to overwork your pancreas. That is when we sometimes have those people that have diabetes. They've overworked their pancreas because constantly having sugar, constantly having this process go on, or eating very, very high amounts of sugar will make your pancreas have to constantly just keep sending out insulin. And what happens is your body gets tired, and those are our people that have diabetes. Sometimes you could be born with the issue with your pancreas where you don't produce it. That is totally different from just overworking the pancreas altogether. If you have questions, thank you, Quiet. Yeah, I'll answer your questions if you have them in there, in here again. So anybody that has come in, we're talking about the pancreas, how it works, and all of those good things. So just to go back, insulin brings down, insulin secretes out, it brings down your blood glucose. It brings down your blood glucose, and it's also helping to make it small enough so that it can be forced into the cell for energy. Glycogen helps to stimulate the liver to release it so that it's stored. It's like your storage. It's like your storage compartment. We have to keep some storage. So let's just say this: the reason we have to keep some sugar, because guess what? If right now I had to get up and break out and run, if I don't have any stores, I would literally be unable to do it because I need that boost of quick energy that's going to make me be able to do it. So we have stores of I guess you would say sugar, so that the cell can use. But when your pancreas is not functioning, it's overworked, it's tired, what happens is you're not able to do that in the way that you would want to do it. That's why sometimes you find people that have pancreas issues are very, very tired, or if they have liver issues, they're very, very tired, because this combination of function cannot occur like it needs to. And then it just overall, these two processes just overall aid in digestion. Feeding into the liver aids in digestion because it'll break down and it'll go to its prospective place. feeding into the bloodstream, it will break down and it will go into its prospective places so that we can make sure that we're using it properly for wherever it's supposed to be used for. We do not want glucose or sugar floating freely in our blood. It has to be in a cell in order for it to function properly. And those people that are diabetics are people who have a higher than normal amount of glucose floating around in their blood, and it's not good because what it does is it goes to different areas and it damages those areas. So let's talk about how we keep our pancreas healthy. One way we keep it healthy is, as always, diet. Diet is your number one thing for everything. If you maintain your diet, all of your systems will be a go. They will function at the highest peak that they're supposed to. Eating a balanced diet will look like eating foods that are, your fruits, your veggies, your whole grains, your lean proteins, rich fibers, limiting the alcohol that you are consuming. My glucose and A1C is high. So what is your diet looking like? Because so your A1C, I'll talk about it a little bit later, is a 2 to 3 month snapshot. Your glucose is what was going on with you immediately. So if both of those are high, it means that you have not been managed your glucose has not been managed very well. So limiting your alcohol, limiting sugary foods, your processed foods. I tell people all the time, stay out the outskirts of the store, with the exception of your packaged meats. That is where you should be shopping. The insides of the store, outside of maybe like your canned things of that nature, limited on that because it has a lot of salt, is where most of your shopping should be. It should be in the produce section. It should be in the I'm going to cut carbs. I am insulin resistant, but I don't have, according to the doctor. But you could be insulin resistant and not have PCOS. Did you have some damage or something? You don't have to put it in here, but you might have had some damage or something to your pancreas. Because PCOS is not the only condition that is an insulin resistant disorder. So you might, I don't know if you have seen an endocrinologist, because sometimes when you just go to your just regular PCP, they're not going to dig and find what the actual source is. I would encourage you to see an endocrinologist if your doctor is just telling you that you're insulin resistant, but it's not PCOS, and they haven't done any further testing to figure out like what is the cause, because you can't fix it if you don't know what the cause is. And an endocrinologist specifically would be the one to kind of help you fix that, because they work with the endocrine system, which your insulins are. Your pancreas, even though it's an organ, it's more on the endocrine side, because it's an exocrine and an endocrine organ. So I would implore you to do that. I don't know if you might need to get a referral from your doctor, a regular PCP. Sometimes they don't dig far enough. They don't look at, they don't do additional labs that may be needed. So that would be something. You can cut carbs, but if you're insulin resistant, what happens is the sugar can't force itself into the cell, and you got to figure out the why it can't force into the cell. Cutting carbs will not help you if you're already insulin resistant. Endocrine can't find why. It says it's genetic, because that's your why. So your why is that you have your why. So that's your why is that it's genetic. So if it's genetic, then what are they doing if you're consistently high? Because what's going to happen, if it has not already happened, is that you're going to have damage to your other cells if they can't figure out the regimen for you to keep your glucose low. Because you don't want to have sugar just flowing freely, because it'll start to affect your eyes. It'll start to, if you're not already having these symptoms, you'll have the tingling of your legs. Can't even think of the name. Tingling of your legs. It can affect your eyes. It will eventually affect all of your systems. So if that is the case, I would say this: if you saw an endocrinologist Yeah, I couldn't even think of it. Thank you, Aquarius. If you saw an endocrinologist, they haven't given you a regimen that could help you to maintain. I don't know if you've seen a dietitian for that as well, because not just the endocrinologist, you should see a full team of people. So you should be seeing an endocrinologist, you should be seeing a cardiologist to make sure that everything is okay. I don't know how often you're getting your eyes checked. I don't know how often you're checking, making sure that your skin is okay. Metformin, you should see another endocrinologist. I would get an additional opinion. I would implore you. I don't know if you know, but Poetic RN, she is another nurse that's on here. She works with an endocrinologist. May not be in your state, but maybe they could help you to do a you know, I don't know how they do it. They may do a telephonic, and you know, they may, I don't know. So I would suggest that maybe you connect with her. And even just get some more suggestions on what could be done, and maybe have a conversation. Maybe you can have a consultation with the endocrinologist that she works with, board certified, well known in the industry. I just would implore you to get a second opinion, because metformin, if you're already telling me that your blood glucose is, your A1C is high, and your glucose is high on your last visit, and they're giving you metformin, it's like putting a Band-Aid on an open gash. It's not effective for you. That is, especially if it's not helping you right now. So yeah. Thank you, because I'm scared. I'm 32. So yeah, right, because metformin is for somebody that is on the lowest end of being a diabetic. That means like they're a 6 point, you know, some of the doctors are used to 7, so I'm gonna say they're like a 6.8. So they're at the very, very, very low end of being classified as a diabetic, or they're in that middle part where you're not a diabetic and you are, and you're hoping to get it, you know, to get them to push it down. It's your very first line of defense, and if you already know that you're insulin resistant because of genetics, they should definitely be a little bit more aggressive with you, and you are very young. I would implore you to, I'm not sure where you live, but I would implore you to seek a couple of more suggestions, because if this is something that's genetic, they definitely should be a little bit more aggressive than just metformin for you, in my opinion. So back to the diet. So again, like I mentioned, having a full team of people that are working with you. A dietitian should be on your team. You definitely should be someone that has their yearly eye exams completed. You're definitely someone that should just regularly make sure that you're doing skin assessment, feet assessments, and things of that nature, just to make sure that everything is just okay. No, it's not a derail. No, it's not a derail, Ash. It's okay. It's right on point. It's right on point with where we are, because somebody else probably may be having the same issues and just don't know what direction, don't know what direction to go into and what can be done. And I can understand that it's scary to be 32 and not know, what your next thing should be. I don't see why they don't have you on insulin, especially if it's something that's genetic. It's my personal opinion, because if nothing else, you need a synthetic insulin right now to help force the sugar into the cells and help to get your blood sugar low, because what will happen is that it will start to affect other organs, and you don't want to work backwards when you can start working ahead to get it done. Get your levels as controlled as you possibly can get them to limit as much damage to your body. Again, if you are a smoker, try your best to stop smoking. If you are somebody who doesn't like to keep your body hydrated, I'm not going to just say water. Hydration, my lab said that my lab say I'm 54. Is it 5.4? Because 54 is not typically what we look for diabetes. So maybe 5.4. That would be, okay, that would be close to being. Depends on the doctor. Some doctors may say 5.4 is, you know, right there at being a diabetic, very, very close. And some will treat and some won't treat at 5.4. So it just sometimes depends on, the doctor. One, because if they look at whatever else is going on with you, if they look at a true picture of you and they're saying, oh, you're a 5.4, because what I'm looking at with someone's A1C is how well you were managed for the last 2 to 3 months. And a 5.4 is telling me that you've been okay. You've been okay. But then I would look at what's your diet, because you have to take other factors into place. You got to look at what's their diet. Does the person exercise? What else is going on with the person outside of just that number? Because the number doesn't always just tell the picture. Because today I might be, you know, I might have jumped it up last couple of months. And so my A1C would look like I'm pre-diabetic, but then in 3 months, if I go back, it's fine because I went back to what my normal thing is. So it just really depends. You know, it really depends. You got to look at the whole picture. You have to look at the whole picture. My husband's had leg redness that turned into osteomyelitis. He lost his toe. That will happen, and he's still non-compliant. So he ain't been scared. It didn't scare him enough, huh? You know, men are stubborn. So, I don't know. That's a hard one, because sometimes what happens is I'm cutting my caffeine intake as well, working on whole raw foods. That's a good way. I also would recommend a detox. That's my first thing for everything is a detox. I always will tell anybody, start with a full detox. I don't believe it. If you already have a medical condition, go the route of you know, taking pills and things of that nature. I tell people to try to do it as holistic as possible, starting kind of how you just said it, with raw whole foods, increasing your fruits and vegetables, increasing your water, and just be very, very consistent with it. It is a little slower. Yeah, we all full of shit, and it's a little slower of a process, but it works, because what it does is it allows you, one, to train yourself to do what's needed. When we take a pill and we get it all out of us, that way we don't train how to do the right thing, because what's going to happen is we're going to go back to whatever it is that we were doing. But if I say, okay, for the next 21 days, 30 days, or whatever it is, I'm going to be consistent with eating raw, you know, increasing my water, cutting out the things that I need to cut out, portion control, all of those things. What happens is your body gets used to that. Your stomach is going to shrink. You're going to clean out your gut. You'll learn to put back the things that you need to put back. It's a slower but more beneficial process, because then your mind will get trained to what it is. Thank you, Ash. I appreciate it. Your mind will get trained to what it is that, you know, the body needs and the body is requiring, and the adjustment is not just this big shock to the body. And then once the capsules are over with, you stuck with, what do I do next? But if you do it over some time and you kind of do it with fruits and vegetables and cleaning out your gut properly and putting the right things back in there, you'll learn along the way. You'll learn what works. You'll learn what doesn't work. You'll learn what you like. You're gonna learn that you don't like certain stuff anymore. And so it becomes just an overall, to me, good. So I'm not huge on saying go get one of those capsules and do a quick little cleanse, because you need it for overall health. Hey, Mima. Hey, Jada. Okay. Where was we? So we were talking about food. So we talk about hydration. Like I said, I don't just speak on just water. Water is not the only way that you can hydrate yourself. Research hydrating. Good. So she should work with your sister so that she can start to tell you some of the things that you should be consuming. She should be really telling you the things that you should be consuming to get rid of and things of that nature. I'm sure she is. but just work so that you can know like how to rebuild your gut once once you cleanse it all out, because as we get rid of things, we get rid of the good and the bad. And so how to put back the biotics that you need in your gut, and things like that. So I think you're on the right track, but I just would just definitely encourage you to get a second opinion with your endocrinologist, or if you have another one where you live, even if you might have to travel a little bit. I would also say before you just schedule an appointment, kind of do a little leg work, and really kind of see what the endocrinologist's reviews are about, and things of that nature, because it sounds like your endocrinologist is working like a PCP, and they shouldn't. They should work like an endocrinologist. But hydrated fruits. So think about your watermelons. Think about your fruits that are very, very juicy. Those are the fruits that you want to incorporate, because what they do is they will hydrate you as well. Watermelon, your cucumbers, things in that arena, so that if you be like, I'm just bored, I'm sick of drinking this water, I don't want to add anything to the water, those are things that you can consume that will help you along the way. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate them. Regular exercise. Get you an exercise regimen. I'm not telling anybody to go to the gym. Find what you like to do. I am a walker. I will walk forever. You might like to dance. You might could just do whatever you want to do in your home. But find what you love to do. Be consistent with it. And that could be just, your program for yourself. Limit as many exposures as you can. Any chemicals, any toxins, any drugs that you may be around regularly. You might have to try to limit your exposure to them as much as you can. So when you go to the doctor, these are the labs that you want to look for. If I'm looking to see how healthy is my pancreas, I want to know what's my amylase level. So your amylase, remember your amylase is that enzyme that is secreted into your smaller intestines that is going to help to break down the carbohydrates. You want to make sure that the amylase is functioning properly, or is within the right level. So I would expect that if I went to the doctor, you took my blood, I just ate, I would expect it to have a little spike in it. I wouldn't expect that if I've been fasting for 10 hours, I go take these labs that it's spiked, because if it's spiked, then that tells me that there's something wrong. Usually inflammation. But that tells me that there's something wrong. You also want to get your lipase level checked. The same thing, your lipase is breaking down the fats. If that is elevated, there could be some damage there. Again, inflammation there. If you're taking it at a fasted state. If I fasted all night and I went to the doctor first thing in the morning, they drew my blood, I haven't eaten anything, I would expect those levels to be normal. If I've eaten, let the people know that you ate, so they're not calling you like, oh my God, your levels is really, really high, and so on and so forth, but you just ate a steak before you went to have your labs done. You also want to make sure that they're checking your glucose levels. You also want to make sure that they are checking your A1C. A1C, as I said before, is a snapshot of how your blood glucose has been over a long term, 2 to 3 months. Which is usually the average time that they are done. Pancreatic enzymes is taken from your stool. So if they ask you to get a stool specimen, they're looking for the pancreatic enzymes. They want to know, did the pancreas deliver the enzymes into the liver? Did it break it down, and did it excrete out into your stool? So they want to know what that means, and it just shows how well your pancreas is functioning, and is it doing its job. You can get cancer markers that are done. So those are just testing if you have any tumors or any mass. It's usually it's called a CA19 or a CA9 or CEA level. Usually only people who have had, that's not like going to be your baseline of testing. That's going to be like if I've been coming in here and I keep having issues and I don't know what these issues are, they can't figure out what they are, that will be one of the tests that they will do to see if there are any tumors or anything that are within the pancreas. Any kind of imaging, so you can get a CT, you can get an MRI, you can get an endoscopy, and this is looking for if there's any cancer pockets in there that maybe that didn't pick up. or it's going to test to see if you have any kind of structural damage. If maybe you were in a car accident and you had the seatbelt on and it went so far back, it might have damaged something. So that's what that would look for. If for all of a sudden you just have let's say you just all of a sudden start to not be able to process, and your insulin starts to spike, your glucose starts to spike rather, and you're having difficulty digesting food, and it's been some time, let's say 3-6 months after you've had an accident, and now they can't figure out like what's going on with you. This is something that they would look at, to look and see if you have any structural damage, if you had some recent kind of trauma or something to that area, or if you had a recent surgery and maybe they nicked the pancreas. You might have had a stomach surgery and they nicked it and didn't know. And then also genetic testing. So ASHE would be one of those people that would benefit from maybe genetic testing to see what's going on as it relates to that. So these are some of the most common pancreas conditions that are out there. Pancreatitis, most of the people who you're going to see with this are people who are alcoholics. They drink. What happens is the pancreas gets swollen and it gets inflamed. They're throwing up. They're very nauseous. So it's just overall inflammation of the pancreas. As I mentioned before, anytime you see ITIS at the end of anything, it just means inflammation, no matter what we're talking about. How you fix this is you go to the doctor. You'll go to the hospital. Most of these people definitely are going to go to the hospital because the pain is intense. It's excruciating. They're usually throwing up. There's nothing in their stomach to throw up. It's usually yellow, so it's usually bowel or something of that nature. Their pancreas is very tender. Sometimes if they're slim, sometimes you can see that it's swollen on one side. Treatment is IV fluids, pain management, stop drinking. They may have a gallstone sometimes because, as you see here, the gallbladder is here, and sometimes if they get gallstones in the gallbladder, it can cause inflammation, because remember, I think we talked about it a little while ago, a gallstone is only a crystallized particle that's blocking something, so it could be this crystallized thing is just rubbing on your pancreas and causing inflammation. Hey, Deja Boo. And then if you're alcoholic, you got to correct your alcoholism. This is something that you will see ongoing with anyone who is a severe alcoholic. They sometimes stay in chronic pancreatitis. Some of them are some soldiers and they just work with it, and sometimes it's just unbearable. You can have pancreatic cancer. The treatment to this is usually surgery. They'll take out the cancerous spot if they can. Chemo, radiation, they do, as we all know, with chemo and radiation, especially with radiation, you got to be very, very careful, because when you radiate something, you radiate a lot of things. The pancreas touches a lot of different organs. It sits behind the stomach. You see the gallbladder is present. It touches the spleen. It sits in a portion of the intestines. So you have to think about what comes about when you're radiating all of that area. It's very hard to just get straight to the pancreas. Hey, Lydia. So they do have target therapy. Even target therapy don't mean that they're just going to hit that one target. Immunosuppressant therapy is one of the best things, but sometimes that doesn't work. And then palliative care. So, palliative care does not mean end of life. It just means we're just going to manage your symptoms. We're going to manage your pain. We don't know what direction it's going to go to. Some people can have pancreatic cysts, and those are just cysts any part of the pancreas. They can grow at anywhere. You'll monitor them to make sure that they're not growing anymore. You'll make sure that if need be, they can be drained. If it's so bad, they can surgically go and remove it depending on the location. Pancreatic insufficiency, meaning that your pancreas is just not producing enough insulin to push it to the cell. Hey, watch me. They're not producing enough insulin. They're not producing enough of the exocrine things that are needed, or the endocrine. It means that, so it's not working like you need it to work. We have lots of people like that. PCOS can also be considered on that pancreatic insufficiency level as well, because the pancreas is not able to pull down enough of the insulin, so that the insufficiency is there. How do they do this? How do they treat it? They try to replace the enzymes that are missing. So it could be the insulins, it could be the amylase, it could be the lipase, it could be the protease, it could be any of those enzymes that are missing. Sometimes that helps. You know, you may take them for the rest of your life. It may kick back in. So you just want to just be very careful. Hey, watch me. So we just talking about the pancreas in general, and PCOS falls kind of sort of in that. You can have pancreatic abscesses, similar to cysts. They usually will drain these. They'll put you on antibiotics. They'll put you on any supportive care that you may need. Sometimes it's pain management. Sometimes it could be autoimmune, so they'll put you on immune suppressants. So it just depends on if you're somebody who consistently gets these abscesses in your in or on your pancreas. Then we have any kind of autoimmune pancreatitis. So autoimmune pancreatitis is very different than the other pancreatitis. So the other pancreatitis is a external reason why you have it. Autoimmune means that you know, you don't know why. You don't know why your pancreas is inflamed. Your body is kind of just is fighting it. So that's what most autoimmune diseases are. The inside is fighting, and so you stay in a constant inflamed state. So you're constantly in the same pain that someone who has this temporary, you know, alcohol-induced pancreatitis is. So what they'll do is they'll give you corticosteroids, they'll give you immunosuppressants, they'll manage whatever those symptoms are, the pain, you know, the nausea, the vomiting. So they'll manage they'll manage the pain and all of those things. They'll do things to try to get the inflammation down as much as possible, so that you won't have so many symptoms. So the pancreas has ducts. If you see the little circle at the bottom, so those are the ducts. And so you can have what's called strictures. Strictures just means that, like, that little opening that you see is closing tight. And so when it closes tight means that nothing can go into it. So I can't get the insulin into it to flow on through to get where it needs to. I can't get the amylase in there to flow on through like I need to. So all of the things that the pancreas will do, you may have a stricture there stopping it from doing its job. And so what you'll do is they'll just go in and put a stent in, and what the stent does is it just opens that hole back up. And then they'll try to drain, because what happens is anytime you have any process in the body, you're going to have inflammation. Inflammation could build up anything, so they'll just drain. It could be an abscess that is making the stricture there. It could be a cyst there, so they'll try to drain that and get whatever those fluids out to get it back flowing, open it up, and hopefully, you know, the flow continues to work okay. You could have pancreatic and neuroendocrine tumor. So we usually say PANETs. And so these are tumors that are in the pancreas that are related to your nerves. Every organ in the body has a nerve system, and so the nerves and the pancreas have tumors there. And so what they'll do is that they'll try to do surgery. They'll treat with different medications. They'll try to do target therapy, target chemo, target radiation, and then they'll manage any symptoms. And so the issue with these people is that a lot of times once they fix it, it comes back. So it's something that sometimes is very reoccurring. And then you have cystic fibrosis related pancreatic issues. So someone who has cystic fibrosis may have like some issues with the pancreas as it relates to the enzymes. So they're not able to receive those enzymes, and so they just put them on enzyme replacement. They'll put them on fat soluble medications, because the amylase. Okay, so the amylase, which breaks down the fat, you have to get something in easy, because you don't have that amylase to break down the fat. So that's why it's a fat soluble. So fat soluble means that it's able to dissolve without that enzyme. And then, but they're gonna give you some lipase, and the lipase is gonna act as an enzyme, and they're gonna give you a fat soluble vitamin so that it can help pull all the nutrients that you may need because the body is not acting in its normal state. Nutritional supports, one, because it's going to be hard for you to break down fats, it's going to be hard for you to break down proteins, hard for you to break down the carbs, so you're going to have a lot of nutritional supports there. And then if you manage whatever the cystic fibrosis symptoms are, then it will help you as well. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? I'm talking fast only because I know Petty goes on in a minute, and so I just wanted to get it out before anybody had anything. Okay. No questions. Okay. So as always, y'all know I'm the herb lady. I love herbs, and so I'm always on the western side and the eastern side of how to take care of ourselves. The western side is I tell you to advocate for yourself. You know your body better than anyone. You know when something is wrong. You know when something, you know, I've gone to the doctor, I've asked all the questions, I've did all the research, I'm still having this issue, it's not resolved. Don't be afraid to ask for an additional, don't be afraid to go get an additional checkup or check-in or review or just to see what's wrong. It does not mean that your doctor doesn't know what he or she is doing, but it's your health. You know, you're paying for it. First and foremost, you're paying for the service, so you should feel like if I go get the service, I don't feel like it's done. Be an advocate for yourself. The beauty is that there's so much information now available to people, so that you can make sure that you might not know how to put it all together, but you can have an idea of what's going on. If you don't feel like you're getting the help that you need, please, please, please don't wait around. Don't wait for something to happen before you say, oh, I want to go get, I want to go get something. Don't worry about it, because worry stresses and it's going to add to whatever the problem is. Seek out some help, ask questions. The beauty is that you have the internet. You got so many people, especially specifically here, that can kind of help you navigate the different things. But don't wait, because most of these conditions that affect one organ, if we wait too long, it'll affect several other organs, because it all works as one. The pancreas does not work by itself. As you see, it works with the small intestines, it works with the liver, it touches the spleen, it touches the gallbladder, it's right next to your stomach, so they all work together. And so if your spleen is not working, eventually your gallbladder gonna stop working. Eventually, you're going to have an issue with your intestines. Eventually, you're going to have an issue with your stomach. So don't think of it as just one thing. Think of it as an entire one working unit. And if I got one issue right now and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait, you're going to have two. If you keep waiting, then you'll have three. Then you'll have four. And then your body, your total body will be affected. So if you know you have one thing going on, try to work your damnedest to get it fixed as fast as possible, or at least functioning as best as you can. What if you no longer have a gallbladder? So if you no longer have a gallbladder, meaning what? You're missing a lot of things. How does that relate to the pancreas? Because I mean, you can live without a gallbladder, but you'll be on. I'm at a rollback with a second option because of my insurance. Hey, Boo. I would ask, would you be willing to, if nothing else, do a consultation and pay out of pocket? If the insurance is the issue. And I know financially, we all financially are everywhere. I would just ask, would you be willing to, if think about, look, if nothing else, you know, you might not do everything that particular doctor, but would you be willing to just do a consultation with another doctor just to kind of see what they would do a little bit different. And then sometimes what you could do is you could take those recommendations to your primary care doctor or the endocrinologist that is treating you. And I mean, you paid them, so they should do what it is that you would like for them to do, pretty much. Thank God for the gifts. But the person that asked about the gallbladder, I don't know what you're asking specifically. If you could put like your question in, or put it in there just a little bit more clear for me, then maybe I can answer. So herbs that help with your pancreas. Again, anytime you're taking any medications, anytime you're under the services of any doctors, anytime you're adding a herb to your regimen that you are not currently taking, always talk to your doctors. All of them that are working with you with whatever the conditions are. Talk to them. Also talk to your pharmacist. If you listen to any of my videos, your pharmacist is your person that you're going to go to. They'll look at your medicine. They'll let you know if any of these herbs that I mentioned are part of your medicine. A lot of medications most medications derive from herbs. So you don't want to have you don't want to say, oh, I'm going to add this and then I'm getting too much. Or it's counteracting something else that I'm already currently taking. And that is what a pharmacist can do, because they work with the chemical component of what most medications are. So turmeric. You know, turmeric is our best friend. It's our anti-inflammatory. So what do we want to do? We always want to make sure that we have no inflammation or as little inflammation in the body as possible. Ginger, another anti-inflammatory agent, and it is also a great antioxidant agent. Cinnamon. Your cinnamons are going to help to make sure that your blood glucose is staying as low as possible, or it helps to maintain and keep it a little bit low. Fenugreek. It also decreases your blood glucose. If you notice in the first few ones that I said, you can cook with these things. You don't have to go out and say, oh, I'm going to go, you know, buy these capsules and so on and so forth, because you don't have to take them in a capsule form. You can cook with them. You can add them to your smoothies. I just added some cinnamon to a smoothie. You can, you know, crush them up and put them in something and things of that nature. You could drink them in a tea. I drink fenugreek tea every now and then. Don't taste the best, but lots of medicinal benefits. Garlic. You can have your garlic, chop it up, put it in everything, cook with it. The more you use it, the more you get the properties from it. So garlic is your anti-inflammatory, and it helps to cayenne pepper, but everyone can't take that. Yeah. Garlic helps to, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it helps to boost your immune system. What does, because I've been putting it in my dick. So, I mean, for this specifically, I just pulled it out because it helps to lower your blood glucose. And so people who have issues with PCOS, as well as like any other insulin resistant diseases or diabetes, it helps to push that sugar out of the system because it's going to help to lower your blood glucose. Holy basil or Tulsi, Tulsi. It has antioxidant properties and anti-inflammation. If you all see the common thing, the common goal is that you want to keep your pancreas from being inflamed so that it can work at its best potential. Milk thistle. So milk thistle, typically you would have milk thistle because it's a major component in overall liver health. But when your liver is healthy, it will indirectly make sure that your pancreas is healthy. So milk thistle is great. It's great to make sure that you just have overall liver health by way of making sure that your pancreas stays healthy. Dandelion. So dandelion helps to aid in some of your digestion health. As we talked about, the enzymes that you need are your amylase, lipase, and protease, and they're going to help to make sure that you're breaking down those things. But you also want to make sure that your digestive tract is clear, your digestive tract is healthy, so that you can receive those and that they can break down the carbs correctly, the fats correctly, and the proteins correctly. And it also aids in overall liver health. Licorice root, anti-inflammatory properties and antioxidant properties. Aloe vera. Get y'all some aloe vera. Aloe vera has I'm gonna do a video on aloe vera. Has so many uses and properties that I don't think that we even think about. But specifically for this, it is an anti-inflammatory and a digestive aid. You can drink aloe vera. You can put it on your body. You can wash your hair with it. You can, people cook with it. So yes, that is the best. I love it. I use it all the time. Right, you can put it in your hair. You got a burn on your finger. You got a burn, put it on your burn. You got a sore. Right, you get sunburns. It works for that. So it's an external and an internal herb that you can use. It has so many. If you ever look back at the history of aloe vera, baby, the people in the tombs was wrapped up in aloe vera. So that's how they preserve their body. Just another little FYI. I may need to add it back. Yes, add it back. Add it back to your regimen. It will make you go to the bathroom. It's gonna clean out that. It's gonna clean out that tract. It's going to help you get your stomach down. It's going to decrease your inflammation. So those are the things that you want to make sure that you're using it for. Peppermint. I put peppermint in every tea that I drink. Why? Because it's going to help it helps with your digestion, and it helps just make your GI tract it soothes your GI tract. It is relaxing. Drink you some peppermint tea if you really ready to go to bed at nighttime. You just want to kind of just like mellow out. It is just one of those things that just, and it make everything taste good. If you're a peppermint kind of girly or guy. Ginseng. Ginseng has antioxidant properties and anti-inflammation properties. Yeah. I keep, and if you have the aloe plants in your house, one of the best pulls out all of the crap in your house. I have one probably in every room. So get your aloe vera plant, put it in your room, put it in your house. It should be in everybody. Y'all should have a plant in every room in your house. I hope y'all do. If y'all don't, got to go get no fancy plant and get an aloe vera. You ain't got to do too much. Get your snake plant. You ain't got to do too much. I ain't telling y'all to go have a great time, but everyone in every room in your home should have at least one plant. One. Snake plants. Easy. Most people can't kill them or unalive them. Aloe vera, very minimal care. A cactus plant. I get everybody busy. Everybody's not into that, but your overall breathing will be not a fake one. Who said a fake plant? Not a fake one, but look, not a fake one. But just put it in your house and watch how your breathing improves, your sleep will improve. A lot of them pull out a lot of the impurities in your house. Yeah. And I'm just gonna add this. Get y'all a little chlorophyll. Drink y'all some chlorophyll every day. We are plants. Treat yourself like a plant. Get you some chlorophyll, drops, put it in your water. Drink it at least one time a day. No shade, no tea. But if your body got a little funky little odor, if you're drinking enough chlorophyll, it'll stop that little odor that you may have in head to toe. Wherever the odor is, it'll go away after. Right, yeah, get that flake oil plant up out of there. Because it's a snake plant. But look, you can have a snake plant. I'm telling you, they are like the most low maintenance plants that there are. But, so get y'all some chlorophyll drops. Take you about 1 dropper and 16 ounces of water. It does not really have much of a taste to it. You can find some with a little mint taste to it. Drink it every day. I don't even put on deodorant half the time because I drink it every day. And y'all know I be working out and doing all kind of stuff. It's an internal deodorizer. So many other benefits. It's detox. Ladies, they get your cycle and it's real heady. It will help to put the blood back in you, rebuild the blood, fortify the blood, all that good stuff. So it has a lot of great benefits. I heard trick. I can't stand you, can't. So get you some chlorophyll. I don't care whose brand it is. Chlorophyll. Treat your body like a plant. Plants produce chlorophyll. We need chlorophyll. Thank me later. Back to it. Ginseng. I don't know if I said that. Ginseng, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Yeah, put it on your list. Get you some. Get you some. Go to GNC. I don't care who brand you use. It's very rare that it's some fake chlorophyll. But get you some. Use it. Give it to your people who don't smell that great. I'm just calling a spade a spade. You'd be surprised how the odors will go away. Even not if you stink, but you'll notice that like I said, I rarely put on deodorant. Sometimes I forget because it becomes a natural deodorant, and you'll find that you don't really need it as much. Not your Muticate. Burdock root. What brand? I don't care about the brand. You can get the GMC brand. I post the brand that I use, but it's nothing specific. It has a little mint flavor to it. I put a dropper in there, a dropper in 16 ounces of water. Just drink it on down. You'll notice, especially ladies, when your cycle is getting ready to come, you'll notice a change in your cycle if you're consistent with it. If you're somebody who just is a heavy bleeder, you'll notice that you're not so wiped out from your cycle as you continue to. I wouldn't recommend mixing anything with it. Now you might want to chase it with a little lemon and water, a little lemon and water. I don't know if it'll do anything to it. I won't say that it will. I've never mixed anything with it. I just always say just take it down because it literally doesn't taste like anything. It looks uglier than it tastes. And so it don't taste like, it tastes like nothing. A little hint, it's like a little hint of mint, the one that I have. But it don't taste like nothing. It's just, I guess it's just weird drinking something green like that. But you know what? You actually probably can, because it's a guy that I know, when he does his, he mixes it with like juice and stuff. So I guess you can mix it with, he mixes it with like a flavor. So I've had it like, it's like some kind of blue. He mixes it with something that's blue. So I don't think it would hurt. Let me do a little bit more research, but I don't think too many things are contraindicated to mix it with. Just bought some collagen and protein. Good, honey. Good, good. You know, we don't want to be looking saggy around here. Burdock root. Great for your liver. It's great for liver health. Also great as an antioxidant. Chamomile, it aids in our digestion. And it will also is an anti-inflammatory, and rosemary for antioxidant properties and anti-inflammatory properties. So as you heard, most of these things I'm sure we already probably got in our kitchens. Use what you got. I ain't say go out here and buy all of this stuff, because you don't need to buy all of this stuff. Use what you have. I know most of us got some garlic in our kitchen already. A lot of us probably got some rosemary seasoning already in our kitchen. Depending on who you are, you might have some ginger. I already got some cinnamon, some turmeric. So if you already have those things, just start to use them on a regular basis. Find ways, not salt, King, real garlic, a whole piece of garlic. You in that salt. That salt gonna take you up out of here. Throw that damn garlic salt in the garbage. You don't need no garlic salt. You should just have regular garlic. You can have regular garlic season. Okay, why I gotta have some salt in it? You're gonna be going on to the king real quick. You keep on playing with all that candy and damn salt. Oh, here we go with this damn puzzle piece. Okay, so what you mean? If he know, he keep on playing with the sugar and the salt. He know. Listen, that ain't fine. You got to tell King, I can't. If you be nice to King and try to tell him the nice way, he don't act right. He got to hear. You know them non-compliant people. The non-compliant people, how you got to talk to them. You can't just ease it into them. You can't tell him like, King, if you eat all of this salt, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. No, you gotta tell him. And you too. Oh, you a salt eater? Baby, I better throw that damn salt away. If y'all got that damn, who is some people that season salt? What's the season salt people that go take y'all up out of here and have y'all blood pressure to the moon? Any of the salts, throw them away. You don't need salt. Learn to use your other seasonings to get you where you need to. Throw that damn Lowry's in the garbage. Lowry's done killed y'all. Been killing us for decades, baby. Throw that fucking Lowry's in the garbage. Throw Lowry in the pink Himalayan is not a bad salt. Pink Himalayan is on the better end of the salts to use. But listen, I love my black people. But let's learn how to use other seasonings. We ain't got to have salt, pepper, the traditional, y'all know our favorite ones. I ain't yelling. If we learn to add more seasons, you'll be surprised at how, like, make your own blends. So, like, learn. It should be too salty. It's fucking salt. It's nothing but salt. Throw that MSG in the garbage. Throw that Lowry's in the garbage. Please. If they go use some Miss Dash. If you gonna use any of them, use Miss Dash. At least she's a better, or they are better, a better one. But if you learn how to mix your different blends together, everything can't taste like salt, pepper, garlic, or whatever. It's a whole lot of other tastes out there, y'all know that, right? Yeah, come on. Hey, but look now, y'all know I don't know how to change nothing on here. I ain't touching nothing because maybe you know I don't know how to change.
Okay, okay, Tashi, because this we gonna need SA, Salt Anonymous, because this is not okay. You can't
Why
throw
you need
stuff.
the salt
Okay,
though?
just let me ask my question because this is for the people. We is the people. You know how the people be saying? It's the people.
Now we all listen. The people we get the people in trouble all week. I ain't with the
Listen,
people.
I'm speaking for the people. The people in here trying to be better.
Now, it's the label. Hold on. It's the people sending text messages or cash
No,
apps.
we ain't sending. We sending messages in the commentary section. All right. Okay. So okay, listen, Tashi. Now, what about okay? Because Lowry's can't go in the trash all the way yet. But what if we
Why you still
minimum?
buying Lowry's? I told you this a year ago. I know I told you this a year ago.
Okay, well, I told you then that it wasn't going in the trash.
That's all the more reason it needs to go in the garbage. If you'd have had that same bottle for a year, it ain't no good. Throw that shit in the garbage.
I got another one. Okay, so listen. I look use, but since you told me that, I have started using less Lowry's, and I do use other herbs and seasonings too. So if the majority of the seasonings is the other good
Throw the
stuff,
Lowry's away. I'm not, and I ain't even trying to be funny, but Lowry's is the silent blood pressure killer for us. And no joke. If you ask anybody who got hypertension, 95% of them gonna tell you, not cancel me. 95% of them gonna tell you that they've been cooking with Lowry's their whole life because that's all they know.
well, you need to make a video about this because I think Black people is not gonna be okay with this. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I don't care, baby. What did walk around with hypertension, baby? Let me tell you.
We
Keep on
pledge
walking around.
allegiance to the Lowrys
Keep on walking around with it, baby. Go
of the
ahead.
Lowrys United States of America.
I can only give you a suggestion. I
I
can only
know.
give you a
Okay,
suggestion.
but see,
And I
so
can
touch.
only say, I can only tell you that when you stroke out, is it worth it? When you
So we
when
can just minimize though, right? Just until we can wean ourselves off.
what's the wing? It's fucking salt. You can find so many alternatives. It's only salt. Lowry's has no fucking taste to it, but salt.
It tastes so amazing.
What does it taste like? Tell me.
Seasoned salt.
How about use seasoning?
I'm going down.
Why?
People,
How
I'm
about this? Go look at your Lowry's bottle. Look at what's all in it, and go buy those fucking seasonings minus the salt.
okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
The whole point is that you want to eliminate the salt in the MSG because that's the only thing that's in Lowry's that's killing y'all. MSG and salt is the So
Now
now,
that's why I stopped using accent.
right,
Because
leave
of
that damn accent at the store. It got whole. It's full of MSG too, but
yeah, that's why I
they're
stopped.
all just a different form of salt, and they didn't double the salt because they put the MSG in the damn salt Lawry's. That's why it's taking y'all up out of here.
I'm going back down. You don't have to talk to us this loud, and you don't have to do us like this.
No
Thank you.
accent. You go get you some Miss Dash. Now, last time y'all was in the hospital, what they put on there? Did they give y'all some accent or some Lawry's? None. They gave y'all some Miss Dash. Why? Because Miss Dash is all of the seasonings minus the salt. If you ever look at what's in it, it's minus the salt. I ain't never heard of complete Henderson. I would have to see what's in it. I love smoked paprika. Yeah, get you some smoked paprika, get you some garlic powder, get you some, not garlic salt, get you some garlic, get you some onion powder. If I showed y'all how many seasons we got in this damn house, it's ridiculous because you could, adobe, it's cool. With limitations because it got a little bit of, it has less salt than a lot of those other ones. I use the salt-free season from the dollar. Okay, that's fine. I don't care where it come from. I just switched to pink. Pink salt is much, much better. Hey, Miss Tina. Oh, maybe she had, why is she like she in a box? That's weird. Adobe complete. Well, we use Adobe here, so but for some things, but it's, you just gotta look at it. You gotta just learn to read labels, learn to know what you're looking for. Uh, it was weird, Tina. You was just in a box. It showed like you was in a box for a second. Then it, I don't know. Uh, oh, that's what it's doing now. Oh, so they trying to get like I think that happened with Beagle or somebody. But learn how to read the labels. Learn to look at what the sodium is. How much sodium is in something, and then you got to think about: are we measuring what the serving size is? For the most part, no. When you just traditionally seasoning your food, you're not looking at what the serving size is. So you just sprinkle until the guys tell you to stop. So you got to think about that because hey Mo, so we might be just way over what our limit is based off of what is there. But if you eliminate the salt, maybe you could sprinkle to you get tired. If I hit the multi-get star, child, I ain't messing with it because every time I do that, I be messing up. And so, and that's all I'm saying. It's just like those little bitty things, and I get it. It's because it's easy for me to say it because I've never been a huge salt eater, like cooking with salt and things like that. Now, the whatever salt comes in it comes in it, but like it's very rare that I'll just season with salt. Um, yeah, when I was vegan, my blood pressure went up. Yeah. So when you season and you eating those Beyond Meats and I'm almost completely off of all of that stuff because when I transitioned, that's what I did. I did a lot of the mock meats and things like that. Hell, they had more sodium than the regular meats. So I could have just been eating those and you just gotta learn how to read the labels and learn how to look at portion sizes. And a lot of us, y'all know how we do. We heavy on the portions of whatever it is, heavy on the servings of whatever it is, and specifically seasoning. Okay, I'm getting ready to get off. So I just would implore you, learn to read your labels, your salts. Any of your sugars are gonna end in OSE. So you'll know that, what, when I read this package, I seen 52,000 OSE. So that means it's loaded full of sugar. Your sodiums, you may see your fates and your, besides regular sodium, you may see ATE at the end of a lot of the salts. Usually an ATE is at the end of most of them. Most of them will have you may see an Na. So Na is the science letters for sodium. Because they're getting very strategic in how they tell you that stuff is in things, and then they use the words and the terms that a lot of us don't know. So it's a lot of hidden salt in a lot of things. Think about even just your canned vegetables. In order for it to stay canned as long as it is, it has to sit in a salt water. If it's sitting in a salt water, the salt is actually going to at some point go into whatever that food is. It's just a natural process that will happen. Anything that is preserved typically is going to be preserved in a salt, because salt helps to hold things together. And it also, just think about if you brine something, usually you brine it in salt, occasionally sugar, but most of the time you brine in a salt because you want the salt to push itself into whatever that food is. So you just got to think about that. Think about just really think about it. Just think about it. Stay out of the middle of the aisles of the store as much as possible. Stay away from processed foods as much as possible. Get more whole foods in. Which is like, get off that dang on TikTok. I appreciate this. Oh, tell it your business is safe over here. Um, you know, it's to help. But like I said, I just Ash, I hope you figure out something. But like I said, I'm gonna tag you. If you didn't add me, can you add me? Because I'll tag you the next time Poetic actually goes, so that you can. I don't know if you know her, so that you can connect with her, because she is a nurse that specializes in the endocrine system, and she also works with a endocrinologist, very, very, very close. And so I think that she might be able to help you just kind of figure that out, because that I am a nurse, but that's not like my full area of expertise. I kind of know like an overview of it. She will be able to. I've been following. Okay. Okay, so I'll share the next time. She's out of town, right? She's out the country right now. So when she comes back, she does a Saturday live. So I'll be sure to share it to you, just so I don't know what the live will be about, but just so that you can you guys could uh, connect. And she's a person that keeps her inboxes open, and she will respond, and she could probably give you so many more tips than I can. Yeah, that watch me, that mock me. Like when I transitioned, I transitioned. I didn't know what to do, but I just knew that I was like, oh, let me try blah 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 blah. And what was I gonna eat? I didn't realize that the mock meat worse than the damn regular meat. And then so after like the last year or so, I think I was like had too much soy in me from eating it. So like it makes me so sick now. So like if I tried and I hate to throw away food, but like I tried two or three things and I was like sick instantly, to the point like I don't throw up too often, and to the point where it just came right up, and it was like literally 5-10 minutes after I ate. And so I was like, yeah, and I don't know what it was. The only thing that I could think that it was is that it was just I was just consuming too much soy, and so I just gave it up, because baby, what I can't do is be throwing up. And so I've just been learning. It made me kind of yeah. Now Beyond was I never ate. I ate Beyond one time, and I had the same thing. When I say instantly, I bought something before I could make it home. I took a bite of it. I was so sick that I was just like, I'm throwing this away. So Beyond has never been good for me. And so I was trying some of the other brands, and like I said, I just think that I built up like a soy tolerance from, because most of that stuff is heavy, heavy soy based. So I had to give it up. But and so it took me down a journey of just kind of learning different things that work. So I don't like mushrooms, but I've been on a journey of trying to make things with mushrooms in them, because it is a good source. It works well. If I can hide it into something, I don't mind eating. I think I don't, it's not the taste. I think it's more the look, and I'm a visual eater. And so if I don't see it, I don't mind eating it. So that's what I've been doing. I've been eating a lot of mushrooms, but I hide them in different stuff. So I'll put it in whatever. A lot of chickpeas, a lot of lentils, a lot of beans. Just heavy on, figuring out. Yeah, I don't like how they look either. Yeah, it's the look of them. But like if I don't see it, so like if I hide it in something and I can dress it up with other stuff, um, I don't mind eating it because the taste doesn't bother me. It's the, the texture don't bother me. It's the look of it. But gotta get off. Gotta go do some my duties. Um, Betty is live. I hope that this helped someone. I hope that this was beneficial, educational to someone. I am trying to get back on schedule. We're doing these lives regularly on Tuesday. I think Tuesday 6 p.m. Um, uh, you logging off. Okay, see you later. Watch me. Um, 6 p.m. is a good time. So I will see you guys next Tuesday. For my book people, we'll be back tomorrow finishing up Sacred Woman by Queen of Four. So we're almost done with that book. And that's it, y'all. Peace. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all for 10K likes. I appreciate it. Bye bye.